Everybody, just wanted to make a little video here showing my new display. I've had this train set for a while. I finally was able to put a display in my basement, and one of my friends, he's a real train enthusiast also, he's got his own train display up, real nice MTH layout, and he helped me with this, put this up. He's a carpenter, so he helped me do this. But I just wanted to take you along and just show you a couple of the things that I have here for all the other train enthusiasts out there who have displays or want to put displays up. But alright, the first thing that we have over here is a Lionel 44 tonner. It was made in the 50s, all original. It's actually really in good condition. Still runs like a champ. The only thing that's not original to it is the headlights. They never came with working headlights because this was an 027 set, and back in the 50s Lionel made the 027 strictly for people who couldn't afford the O gauge set. So they had different things, like they cut back on like the horn or the bell or headlights. So that was originally with no headlights until my grandfather put them in. But the thing still runs, and I'll show you a little bit later. I'll show you it working. But on the next list I have a Union Pacific General Motors F3. It's a BA unit. And this is actually not a Lionel unit, it's a MTH unit. My friend has let me borrow that for a while. But back then MTH did make conventional engines, but then they started to get into the whole DCS system and changed what it looked like dramatically. But the B units on these were actually pretty rare. They didn't make too many B units for them. They just made the double A units, a dummy and a powered. So it's pretty rare for the B unit. But on the next note, all the other stuff that I have here, most of the other stuff, is all original. Like the coal ramp here. That's from my grandfather's set that he passed down to me. And there aren't too many of these out there. I mean, there are coal ramps out there. Some of them don't work. Some of them absolutely work perfectly. Mine works great. I mean, it needs to be cleaned a little bit. It's got some dirt, and it's been sitting away since I was a little kid, until I was old enough to be able to understand and actually play with this. But they used to get damaged in the boxes. That's why there's not too many coal ramps left. And the thing that makes it or break it is that car right there. A lot of people that don't have that car, this whole set, or the whole coal category set here, is really kind of not worth anything. At least the coal ramp and the coal elevator, or not the elevator, the conveyor belt here. But other than that, the conveyor belt works. I got that all cleaned out. Works great. And next thing we have here, down below it, is a N&W working caboose. And behind that we have a Lionel radio caboose, lighted up, original. And then the rear caboose is also a Lionel Lines caboose. That one I actually did convert it to lighted because it had a hole underneath it for where you could put a light fixture in there. So I was able to do that. See, what they did too is they used parts from O gauge stuff to make the 027 cheaper gauge to sell. So it was intended for a light fixture, but it never got put in because it was sold as an 027 set. So, but what we have next here is a Lionel crane car. Still works. All the original things still work. Still rotates up and down. The side of it here still releases. Still works very nice. The searchlight car still works, still rotates and everything. Lights up still. And then we have the flat car here with a couple steel pipes on it. And then behind that we have the gondola car. And then next to that actually is not a post-war Lionel car. That's actually New York Central Williams car. I bought that just a little while ago, and I bought it because it was really nice. It has the New York Central Early Bird Freight on the side, but that's the only one that's not original to it. And then last but not least is the Baltimore and Ohio B&O car, and these are actually one of the rarer ones. I mean, they made a lot of those, and then they made a lot of the silver ones like that I have here also with it. But I was looking at prices recently and getting just an overall value on these, and they're going for right around $100 if anybody's selling them. They're actually pretty. There's not too many out there. I mean, they make a lot of the silver ones, but you can't find too many of the blue and the orange. But just a couple tips, like when you're building your set here, is of course you're gonna need a reliable drill. I mean, I don't have the fanciest drill out there, but it works great. Works great for what I need. All you need to do is use it so we can drill holes and run wires underneath it, that kind of thing. Also, too, it's wise to get yourself a dedicated drill set. I mean, like I said, you don't need anything fancy. Just a couple sets of drill bits, maybe some screws with it. And like this, I only have a couple of the bores here. But another thing you might want to need, too, is a voltmeter, an amp meter, and an ohm meter. This is kind of all in one. You can buy it at an auto parts place. I bought mine at AutoZone or Advanced Auto Parts. I forget which one it was. But these come in real handy when you're going to, you can check around the track and make sure you're having all the right voltage around the track. You're not losing any voltage, so that's very handy. Another thing you might want to get too is a staple gun. You might want to get it. You can use other things too, like clamps or ties for supporting the wires underneath it. I just use a staple gun. You got to get longer staples, that way it doesn't pierce the wire, but these come in handy a lot. Then of course, you're gonna need a wire sheath splitter for taking the cover off the wires. Nothing fancy. Plier for removing removing the pins, the fiber pins, or the connecting pins from the track. A couple screwdrivers, nothing major. Like a flathead screwdriver would be good too. And of course, you're going to need it'd be wise to get a soldering gun. And this was also my grandfather's, he gave to me. But, and of course, a spool of solder. But, like with many things that are electrical, like electrical cars, I mean, even my transformer right over there, I've had to fix that multiple times. That actually was quite a pain at first, but I got it working great now. But you're going to need one of these, I can tell you, a lot of the time. Because, I mean, there are things that are soldered together and they do need to be, taken apart or put new wires in, and they need to be soldered together. So these are really good to have. I mean, this one's nothing fancy. They make ones that are the single, they're just the iron. This is a double action one. You push it in, click it once, and it goes on a low setting, and you click it all the way in for a high setting, and then all the way out is off, and you can leave it plugged in and still have it when you need it. But I mean, those are pretty much, I mean, that's basically all I built this with. I mean, other than a saw to cut wood and a measuring tape, all of this is basically put together with a drill and a screwdriver or screws. But all this, like the station there, is my grandfather's. The banjo signal. You could tell this is an earlier banjo signal because it's black. The newer ones are all silver colored. But that's nice to have. Most of the switches are 022 switches. These are the newer counterparts of them. There's a couple of them like this. This is an 022. This one over here actually is a 5133. These are a newer model. They were made in like the 80s, but they're basically the same thing as the 022 switches. And for any of you that have 022 switches, it's always wise to have save the boxes for them. Like this is the box for the 022 switches. The box is actually worth about the same as the switch, or maybe even more. And most of the time, the boxes is actually worth more than what is inside them. It's kind of crazy, but it's true. But always wise to save the boxes like that. This is the box to the where does it say? The banjo signal. But other than that, everything's. I got it up and running so far. Works great. I got my friend's Alco RS3 Union Pacific. That one runs great also. But yeah, if you have any questions about anything, I'll be putting some more videos up soon about how to fix some things, clean them out. I know some people have troubles with like the transformers, for instance, especially ZWs. Most people have the ZWs because of their power, and they have so many watts. Like, especially right on the top there, it says what is it? 275 watts. So people use this, especially for larger displays. They use the ZWs, and these things still work great. I mean, people use the newer ones, but I mean, I know a lot of people that still use the older ones, and they work absolutely wonderful. I mean, it's just a power source. And then, of course, my grandfather's original one is a Type R. But without further ado, I'll show you my car running here. Just got a couple switches set up, and then I'll show you how it runs. What I'm going to do is I'm going to flip the switch there, pick up some cars for you to show you. Like you see too, the headlights work. And you can see that it wasn't meant for it, but I just leave it on there because it means a lot to my grandfather and me. So actually, I got to replace the front headlight, but other than that, it works great. And actually, when I first got that out of the box, it didn't want to work at all. It was absolutely frozen up. Nothing wanted to work on it. But now it works absolutely wonderful. The coil on the unit may hum a little bit, but you know, that's standard for the older engines. But other than that, it still runs actually very well. All the signals work too. I wired them up. I gotta still wire up that one in the back. But the thing with displays, they're always a work in progress. You're never always truly finished with them. Spotlight works. Same thing with the caboose there, lights up. Same thing with the back one lights up. But no, this thing runs actually really well, and like I said too, I'll put some other videos up here later, just kind of explaining how, you know, maybe some easy tips how to keep your engines clean. You can do some maintenance works on tracks, like clean a track. Very easy way in cleaning a track. I actually didn't think there was I didn't actually think the track would get so dirty, but it actually does. And you want to see all the grime and stuff that comes off of them when they are dirty. But yeah, I'll show you a couple of those. I'll show you how to clean like the older conventional engines. A lot of the newer engines, like the RS3 there, and then the F3 in the back, those have the new cam motors in them where, well actually this one doesn't have the cam motor in them, but they're low maintenance or no maintenance engines. Practically, actually it's no maintenance. Same thing with the cam motors in there. Those are no maintenance engines, so you don't have to worry about those. But the old conventional ones, like a 44 tonner here, you gotta, you know, it's all maintenance. That's why it's lasted so long, is it's been taken care of. But I'll show some videos on that too, on how to do this. But alright, if you have any questions, hit the comments below, and of course subscribe if you want to. You don't have to, but I'll be putting up more videos later, and I'll talk to you soon.